Hello, welcome back. Gamers Need Christ. This is Grillenheimer. Christmas is coming. The goose is getting fat. Please put a Bitcoin in the old man's PayPal. And if you don't, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. No, I'm just kidding. But my son's really enjoying the original Home Alone movie. But just want to mention something because we fight temptation every day. And the Bible tells us to pray ever ceasingly. I forgot where it says that exactly, but it's in here. It's near the end. And then in Luke 8, when Jesus is going through the parables, he mentions something here. He mentions something very important, and one of the parables is the parables of the seed. Where the seed is going to fall, and if it's going to grow, and if it's going to be on rocky, and it might have a foundation for a while, but it won't have a firm root, and if it's tempted, it will fall away. Let's just read it verbatim real quick. But it's a really good parable. It teaches a good life lesson of the kinds of people we are. And those on the rocky soil are those who, when they hear, receive the word with joy. And these have no firm root. They believe for a while, and in time of temptation will fall away. We got to have a foundation. We got to have Christ as our foundation. Just last night I was helping out with the concessions, and the kids were there working, and I'm helping one of the adults helping out. Is my shirt on back? And I'm like, my gosh, this girl was either 13, 14, 15, something, and I'm like, my mind is just going where it shouldn't. And I'm looking at other people, and my mind is going where it shouldn't. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, and it's been a while since I've been with a lot of young kids at one time like that. I have, but it's been a while since my mind has gone in that direction. I'll just admit it, but which is, I guess, good to say or sad to say. I don't know which. But coming from a Christian perspective, I'm thinking to myself, my gosh, this is a little bit of mass confusion or sexual confusion, if you will. Maybe that's a wrong term here for now for the year 2021. I don't know, but I just had to look down for a second and not look at anybody. I didn't close my eyes. I didn't make it obvious I was praying, but I made a mental prayer to God, and just I don't need to think these thoughts. I'm the adult here. Please calm me. And I wanted to focus on Jesus. I wanted to focus on Christ. I wanted to focus on his message, on his gospel, on that way of life. And it was like, and I looked back up, and it was like I wasn't thinking those thoughts anymore. And it was like, okay, these are just kids now. This is how I need to perceive these people, perceive these youngsters, because they're just kids. And I'm the adult in the room, or one of the adults in the room. And it was just, you have to back off. You got to get in a different mindset, focus on Christ, pray. And it doesn't have to be an obvious prayer, because mine was not obvious at all. Nobody around me knew I was praying to God, or communing with Christ in any form or fashion. It just looked like I may have looked down at my feet for a minute. And it helped give me clarity. It helped bring me back to reality, in a sense, brought me back to my age, and made sure I was acting my age. There's a lot of people nowadays, a lot of kids, a lot of people even my age, that I like watching on YouTube, that may be super smart, smarter than me, with a lot more knowledge and probably a little wiser. But then you look at all the stuff behind them and you're just like, what are you doing with your life? What are these people doing with their life? And yeah, I like adding a little fun to this card game, and I might be a little more obsessed with it than I should be. It's just fun. But at the same time, I'm thinking, watching some of these people that I like to watch online, they're making money for this. And I didn't, realize for years people were making money off of YouTube. I'm thinking, it's just a video. I could do that. I could pick up my phone, hit record, and do a thing. But I'm not going to ask for money for it. I've got a full-time job. I'm thinking, do people not have a job? Are they doing this? Sure enough, they are. And that's what a lot of people have been doing. And I didn't mean to go in this route, but I'm really thinking more, let's get back again and focus on the conversation with temptation. Just like last night, I started to sort of fall off the wagon, so to speak, and it doesn't take to go to some summer camp or some Christian camp to get your mind right. We're going to force you to do that. No, it doesn't take any of that. It takes the will to want to do it, the belief to believe in God, in Jesus, in Christ the Son of Man, the King of Kings, that He died for us, and to walk His path. And when the more you focus on Him, the more your focus is going to be on the truth, the reality around you, and it affects your behavior and your decisions. And it's not always easy. Thus, pray ever ceasingly. You drive by and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm in a rush. I got to get to my kids. I got to do something. I got to do this. I got to do that. Got to do that. And you see someone on the side of the road that needs help. And one, you might be afraid to help them. Two, you don't have time to stop. But three, you have time to pray for them. You could pray out loud in your car while you're driving and say, Father, please, I don't know who that person is, but please help them in their situation and get them out of that. Prayer not only is showing your love for somebody, they may not know that they're receiving love from you or support from you or a prayer from you. But it brings us down back to a foundation and a level of, I don't like taking nouns and changing them into verbs, but adultness. Well, that's still a noun, isn't it? Anyway, in a sense of a mindset of wanting to help others, not be so self-serving. Because let me tell you, I'm selfish. I am selfish. That's one of my many sins, is being selfish. And how can you be selfish? There's many myriad ways of pleasing yourself in all kinds of ways, whether it's overworking for the sake of pride, buying junk for the sake of show or to have. Think of that old Looney Tune cartoon. It was the little girl, I just want it to have. If you're old enough to remember that cartoon. And it was the spoiled little girl, if you remember. And we were talking about selfishness. Going to the grocery store and buying everything you want to eat. Binging that show and eating it all while you just sit there and you're not being productive or moving or anything. We've all been there. We've all done it. I used to be able to eat a whole pizza or a whole box of donuts or a whole lot of this or a whole lot of that, a whole bottle of Mr. Pibb, etc. We've all done it. But should you? And that's why small decisions, micro decisions can affect your major decisions. And when we don't plan very well, and I don't plan very well, and yes, I was a teacher, but when I was a teacher, I also kept up with, I had a calendar right here. Anyway, a calendar of things that you're going to do, and then you have to have a plan of execution of doing that. This house should be in better shape because we own a house. And I need to make more of a plan and goals of what I need to fix, what I need to update, what I need to paint, etc., etc. And again, it's all part of that focus. And when you focus on Christ, it helps steer you in the right path, steer you in the right direction. And everything else almost doesn't matter. Now, people matter, but other situations, the cloud of chaos seems to dissipate. Temptations of sin seem to fall away. Now, they'll come back. They always come back. Every day is a new day with new sins, new temptations, new opportunities. That's why prayer is so important. And I'll admit, I'm not that habitual with my prayer as I should be or could be. I mean, so things to think about. And I will admit this is the season of Christmas. The original Christmas was yesterday, December 6th, before it was changed to December 25th. Christmas is not a day for me. Christmas should be every day. But we are in the season of Christmas right now. And I am noticing the more spiritual nature of life. With that, read Luke 8:13. We'll see you next time. Have a blessed day.